It's okay. I'm just dying. No big deal. Okay. Great. No, I'm not going to read that out loud. I do not know why I went. Oh, I do know why I went dark halfway there. Oh, I can fix that. Ta-da! All my unprofessionalist abilities with streaming software and things. Is this not doing what I... I usually like to have it say what I'm listening to while I'm streaming, but I'm not seeing that work right now. So let's just make that disappear. Oh, and I suppose I should also... Yeah, alright. Promote myself here too. There we go. Now I can just make an even bigger ass of myself when I screw things up. Such as just not being good at making content, just in general. Forget anything else. This is the riveting content I know you come for. I wish I didn't have such a dirty mind sometimes, because that's not how I meant that. Other times it's just fun. Alright. Nobody's here, nobody's probably ever gonna be here. Start with me forums. Okay. That's all the Kung Fu I think I'm probably going to do for this one. I will give a quick update on the jong, which is still here. The progress update is I now have 2 signatures at this place I'm going to be going to, so I just need to go and get them to do their little vetting questionnaire. Then I'm in. I see there is somebody here. Yay! Is it in slow-mo or am I drunk? The answer is yes. The camera is not slow. I decided to try and play around with a little bit of speed. Do a little bit of slow, a little bit of fast. And if you're drunk, that's on you. If you do have questions, I may do more Kung Fu. Because there's actually people here now. Yeah, so I just need to get them to give me their vetting questionnaires. Then I've got my pass to go. And I can get to actual work on the machines, finishing up that jong. So that's exciting. Okay, I'm gonna get a drink of water. Don't call me people. Yep. Did I call you or myself people in that moment? I often talk faster than I think. I know I did say something about that earlier to you, but that's not on stream. Okay. I know it's not exactly what you're asking. I gotta actually look at the camera. I'll bring out the swords that I have for Kung Fu, or for Wing Chun, and I'll maybe talk a little bit about them. The rest of my swords are all in there, and I don't want to open that on stream, so I'll do that for you after. Alright. If anybody actually knows swords and they're looking at this right now, they're going to be very upset with me. I am an experimenter. I like to... Well, yes, there are skeletons in my closet. Of course there are. I lost my train of thought. Yes, I'm an experimenter, so I like to test things out and figure out why things are incorrect, why they are correct. Is there another correct path that's maybe more correct in some way? All these different things. So that I can really try and understand the ins and outs. More so than just, no, this one's correct, I was taught it correct. I mean, yes, do teach things correct, don't teach things wrong. It's a terrible habit to learn, or to unlearn. I remember in my karate days there was one section of one of our forms, and it was, of course, in the black belt level, where, or in amongst there anyway, where we were supposed to intentionally do something wrong in a partnered sequence, but it wasn't as a, well, you do it so wrong so that as a demo they can beat you. It was a, no, you've done this wrong, now, and then you're going to do it again, but you're going to do it right, so you'll see what the difference is. And while that is sort of my mentality, checking those different things, it's not a good way to teach, I don't think. I think it's a good way to play. I don't think it's a good thing to rehearse things wrong. But anyway, my point is that I do like to experiment. And one of the experimentations I did was in taping my swords a little bit to change the grip so it fits my hand better. I don't know if I want to keep that. Over time, I think I like that less and less. But I've always been fascinated as to why there is so much space. If it's just we're just making it for somebody wearing armor, or we don't know the person's hand size or whatnot. I don't know, and I'm ignorant of it, and if anybody knows, I want to know. One day I'll have to actually properly research it myself. But I have played with the design a little bit, even up here, because, and actually down here as well, because of my interpretation of how the swords work. I'm not overly familiar with them. I haven't used them a whole heck of a lot yet, but I play with them from time to time, and they are quite fun. It's really interesting trying to translate the lessons of empty-hand Wing Chun, the concepts, the maxims, the kinkut, the songs, all of the supi fat, all of these sort of things. Trying to translate those ideas into this is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying doing it, actually, because we know that it's not a one-to-one thing. You know, there's in some ways it is. There's a lot of overlap, but it's the overlap in, you should be focusing on the overlap in the concepts, not in how the technique is performed. In addition, you now have an extra joint, right? Before, you just had up to here. Now this is now an extra pivot point. So while this is an extension of the arm, as the cliche saying goes, having being aware that is, it's not just an extension. It's not just your forearm got longer. It's another section to your arm. Our knife concepts and our empty hand concepts, are they the same? Again, I'm very new to the swords. I've played around with them for many years, but haven't done too much. So my answer to this is likely to change, but they are basically the same. I think there are some exceptions. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'd have to play and maybe I'd figure one out. But I guess the closest thing to off the top of my head that I can think of as an exception is this idea of keeping your elbow in. You still do this, but because you have that extra pivot point, it flexes things a little bit more. Like, you're not bonging with your arm, right? You're not going to do a bong saw that way. You're doing it with the blade itself. And that's just what I mean. Like, I think the overall concepts are the same. There might be a little bit of variation once it comes down to details like that. But we strike vital points, we follow center line, we maintain bridge contact, because we do with these as well. We follow Tong and Darp and Mo and Chit and all these other things too. We still practice all of that. You still have, your shift, so you still keep your horse. Yeah, they're very, very similar. If there's any variation, it just comes down to those finer details, not an overarching concept. I know even less about the staff. I'm more trained in bow staves, but from my very, very early understanding, I think that would probably vary more than these would. Yes, our good friend Rain. My pronunciation on things is god-awful, and I'm going to upset anybody that properly speaks the language. So at some point, I need to take them up on that and go through some lessons to make sure that I can get it all correct. I don't have the poll. I have one on order, and they, I guess, ran into some issue with their shipping company where they're no longer in some, membership or something. So their shipping rate is not what they quoted me, and so I've paid for it. I paid all the shipping and everything, but they're waiting on trying to fix this hiccup or something. I don't know. If it goes on too much longer, I'm going to be following up on it again, because I paid for my staff. I want my staff. I want my pole. I don't know, is there something specific that you're interested in? Like, I'm very, as I've kind of indicated, very concept focused, so I try and translate things to how they work within physics more so than how they follow. I tap against the incoming punch, and then I puck over here and punch over here. I don't think I would ever do that. That maybe, but a lot of these, I've seen that too. But a lot of, no, I don't think I would do that, because if on intercepting, intercept, keep moving forward. Sorry, off topic. I feel like the during I was watching it. Ha. Maybe that's how you see it. I used to do stuff like this, not for kung fu, but other things in the past. I actually quite enjoy being able to share and interact with somebody, and while I would prefer if the other person could be on video as well, so that we could try and really break it down and follow each other along and correct each other, it's the next best thing to being in physical contact. It's just very difficult, but this is enjoyable. Catch the pull between your knives. I'm very new to the knives, so I don't have the form memorized. So if there's a specific technique that you're referring to, I don't think I know it. However, the technique where you catch a pull between your knives. I mean, if you want to do some stuff on video, I would be thrilled to do so, but let's answer this. This poll question. So, I don't know of a specific technique for catching a pull between your knives, but it absolutely can happen, right? If you can get any kind of trapping motion, if I can get the pull underneath both blades, I can hold that down. Now, of course, I would want to follow that up somehow, right? If I can hold one against the pole, I'm going to be constantly moving in. And yeah, that may require me to change which one's on bridge contact, which one's on strike. Ooh, that was bad. There. If you can get it into there, if that's what you're referring to, yeah, we can do that. But again, then you're going to be applying bridge contact release, so you can actually, yeah, that's probably what it would be. So you'd have to release. Oh, strike that way. Yeah. Both edges turned in, catching a thrust to your face or upper body. Catching it like this. Or do you mean there are schools teaching it like that? Right. Because edges towards the center. You might have to show me that. Both edges in towards the center. And then what, hitting like the flat? I mean, I'm not sure if I'm following you correctly. If you're saying that my blades are pointed out and the pole is along the blade edge, great, yeah, we would do that. If you're saying I would turn my blade so that it's hitting along the side, yeah, I could see us doing that to some extent. Might actually be better than hitting it right against it. Arguably, I don't know. I'm very new to this. Hitting the back of the blade? Absolutely not. Inside? Absolutely not. Well, there might come a point where it's... I guess if you caught it that way. Yeah, I would do it. Yeah. If you're down to hop on video, I would be very interested to do a private thing and see what you mean, because this is the sort of thing that gets me excited, trying to exchange this information, because it's very difficult to do over text. It's hard enough to do over video, but best we got right now. Because it is possible that what you're describing we would do. Whether or not I've done it, I don't know. But again, I just look at the concepts, how we apply things, and if it follows that, then whether or not it's a technique in our repertoire or not, it would count as something we could do. basically we can do anything as long as it doesn't break those rules. And if it does, you have to have a damn good reason. Like, as an easy example is the bong sao. You know, normally the rule would be don't raise your elbow, don't throw your elbows down. Bong sao obviously differs in that, but it comes with the amendment that you are still following the concepts of how to redirect something, and then immediately dropping. Not back fist, by the way. It's forward. It's just I'm maintaining that bridge contact. Man. Okay, great. I will do that. I will hop off stream. This is interesting. I haven't done something like this in a while, so I thank anybody that future watches this. You all suck for not being here live. Be live to the next one. In theory, it's the same stuff. Once you start getting into nitty-gritty and applying it in person, I think that changes a little bit, but there are certain things that should, yeah. Anyway,